Shabbat Shalom, Kal Halal Yahweh Shem Yahushai B'Hashem Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect Tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yahshua. I'm back with the WW3 Daily update. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to you as well. All right, we're just going to let the Canadian prepper give us the update. I'm quickly going to point out this World War III in 2nd Ezra's 13 and what, 29? What was me? Yeah. 29. 2nd Ezra's 13:29. Behold, the days come when the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, right? Nobody's ready for the second coming of Yahweh Shai, because he's coming back to fight a war, right? And people don't understand that, right? And I'm going to show you right here. This is World War III. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm. Okay, that's when it becomes a celestial war, all right, against another. Okay, I'm going to jump down to 33. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have won against another. The battle that they have won against another is called World War III. Now, quickly, I'm going to go to Revelation 12 and show you the celestial battle again. People don't understand that that is in our atmosphere, the war in heaven. This word heaven means the sky. And there was war in heaven, right, in the sky. Okay? Now, when you see this word heaven, and then you see angels, right, and you start thinking, well, that's where the Most High is, in the spirit world. No, this is talking about in the earth's atmosphere. Okay? This word angel simply means messenger. Okay? Now, Michael and his angels says there was a war in heaven, right? Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. This war in heaven happens in the middle of World War III. Okay? Going back to 2nd Ezra, when they left the war that they had one with another. And when the people hear his voice, whose voice? When they hear the one you call Jesus come in from the fourth dimension, everybody's going to stop fighting each other in World War III, right? And do what? Start fighting against the one you call Jesus and the angels, okay? And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest, willing to come and overcome him, the one you call Jesus, whose name is Yahushua, by fighting in that war, okay? Now, this is when they're fighting each other. Where is it going to be? Right here, okay? And there was war in heaven, right? Then there was war in heaven. War broke out in heaven, right? New Heart English Bible. There was war in the sky. This level of heaven that they're talking about is in the sky, in the atmosphere, right? There was war in the sky, okay? Michael and his angels, the archangel Michael, and the actual angels of God made war on the serpent, and the serpent and his blue angels made war. It looks like this. Every now and then you got to bring this out. You never know who's watching. And the blue angels, right? So it says, Michael and his angel, this is Michael and his angel, This is Satan or the dragon and his blue angels, and that's what they look like. Okay? This is the war in heaven. See, it's just in the sky. You see the city back there? All right? Michael and his angels, and the serpent and his angels. They're in the sky. All right? That's the war in heaven. Anyway, now we're slowly making our way to that part of the war. First, we got to get the World War popping first. So let's let Nate take it away. 16 hours ago, Canadian prepper breaking news. Putin rushed to Kremlin, attack on St. Petersburg Air Base. Biden sends nukes to Korea. Nukes are very, very important in World War III. Right? Chariots are very important. When I say chariots, I mean what you call a UFO. Very important in World War III. All right? All these things coalesce, if you will. Go ahead.
So we got some breaking news on the World War III front. 4 big things have just happened in the past couple hours. We had some attacks on St. Petersburg. It appears explosions have rung out at an air base that apparently houses military aircraft in St. Petersburg. This is Russia's second largest city. It is far removed from Ukraine, signaling that this might have been either a drone attack or maybe it was another act of sabotage.
This is very, very, very significant. Okay, it's pretty major, as if somebody flew a plane over the White House and was bombing the White House. What would America do if some country, anybody, was flying drones or planes or whatever? Just put it in that perspective. Okay? Over the Kremlin, they rushed Vlad away to an underground bomb. That's major. It's completely major. That's in Russia. They got more nukes than we do. That's completely major. But it's going right over people's head. Everybody's so desensitized. Listen again.
Currently houses military aircraft in St. Petersburg. This is Russia's second largest city. It is.
I'll play it again.
So we got some breaking news on the World War III front. 4 big things have just happened in the past couple hours. We had some attacks on St. Petersburg. It appears explosions have rung out at an air base that apparently houses military aircraft in St. Petersburg.
Okay, so St. Petersburg is not the Kremlin. Okay, St. Petersburg used to be the capital, but it's not anymore. It's a considerable amount of it's a considerable ways away from the capital. Okay.
This is Russia's second largest city. It is far removed from Ukraine, signaling that this might have been either a drone attack or maybe it was another act of sabotage. We really don't know. A lot of this is coming from social media, so we have to take it all with a grain of salt. However, we also have this footage that claims to show Vladimir Putin being rushed off in a very emergent fashion to the Kremlin. These cars are traveling very fast. Was he being taken to a bunker in anticipation of a pending attack? It's possible, because last month in St. Petersburg, Russia's most prominent, or one of their most prominent bloggers, who was very pro-war, was assassinated in St. Petersburg, along with 40 other people who were casualties of that explosion. So they're probably taking this seriously. Now, you need to understand the context of all this that's happening. Xi Jinping, the leader of China, phones Zelensky today. Now, at first, I'm kind of hopeful, but then I get to thinking about, okay, why would this be happening right now? Typically, this level of diplomacy is going to happen before something big is about to happen, either in an attempt to stop it, in an attempt to delay it, slow it down, whatever the case might be. What has happened is that the Ukrainians have
do this with 6.
It's a great escalation going on, and nobody's paying attention. Slovakia
have claimed to have established a bridgehead on their side of the river. Okay, so this is Russian territory here. This is blown up. This is Kherson, what the Ukrainians control. This is part of the territory that the Russians have annexed. Ukrainians claim to have crossed the river. Up until a couple days ago, anyways, they weren't claiming this. It was basically divided by the river. Now they're claiming that they've made it to this side of the river. Now there's footage of Russian soldiers claiming to dispute this, that the Ukrainians aren't actually here. This is a big territory, and this would be a place that they would stage this counteroffensive. Now, you might not think that this pertains to you, and it might not right now. But what will pertain to everybody is if the Ukrainians are able to. Okay, so that was a blown up image of what we're seeing here. Okay, so this is what the Russians control. Actually, maybe let me see if I can find a better map for you here. This is probably better. So this is what Russia claims as their annexed territory. This is what they're hoping will be the demilitarized zone. So if the Ukrainians are able to establish a bridgehead here, and then they wrap around here from Zaporozhye, the nuclear power plant's right here, so we know that that's going to be in the news in the not so distant future. They're going to come down here. There's a city called Melitopol, and then they might do a two-pronged attack possibly and try to move down here to Crimea, and then they're just going to go back this way. Maybe they don't even care about Luhansk and Donetsk anymore. It's possible that they don't, or they're just going to take this back first. If they are successful, guys, that's when things get really, really nukey up in here. Now, I'm not saying I'm getting really tired of warning about the threat of a potential nuclear escalation, but we are here now, okay? These incidents, as they've happened today, I think that Xi Jinping reached out to the Ukrainian leader in an attempt to try to mitigate this issue before it spiraled out of control. They're claiming that they're going to send an envoy. They didn't specify a date. I think if the Chinese were able to successfully send an envoy to Ukraine to act as some sort of go-between between the Russians, I think that would be a good start. But what we're probably going to see here is the vested interests in the military-industrial complex start to get involved, and they're going to start nudging the Ukrainians to get on with it. That's what I think is going to happen now that the Chinese have opened up this door to communications. However, regardless of whether China is genuine in their interest in trying to promote peace, nobody trusts anybody right now. I mean, nobody. The Chinese don't even trust the Russians, okay, as much as we're being told that by the alternative media. They have their own gripes, but they probably trust each other more than they trust the Americans in the West right now. But everybody's just going to interpret any sort of short-term peace deal as a opportunity for the other side to build up their forces again and buy more time, because this is historically what has happened. So there will be no peace deal. I don't think. I can't see how it's going to be possible. I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because there's nothing I'd like to get back out into the bush and start making videos about survival-related concepts, okay? I would much rather have a stable global economy where we lived in a multipolar utopia and everybody got along, but let's get real for a second. You can't have two people running one household. You can't have two presidents of one country. And you sure as hell can't have two superpowers coexisting without some unending Cold War. Okay, so that is what is happening in the world right now. These explosions, this video that claims that Vladimir Putin's being rushed off to the Kremlin, it's all what we would expect to see in the run-up to something major like this, because this will be the deciding battle, at least this year. Who knows what's going to happen next year? Now,
okay, we'll end it right there. The battle he's talking about is this so-called spring offensive by Ukraine, supposed to take that land back and go into Crimea and blah, 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 blah. But not according to Gonzalo Lira. He said, come on, let's get real. We won't be seeing that happen at any time soon. So it's just more stalemate and escalation and trying different things and letting this thing spiral out of control and then move into a different theater, if you will. So we're going to keep this short. Check this out. It's pretty long, and it's got some other good stuff in there. Yeah, Canadian Prepper. So we'll get one on the way out. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, so World War III is going to go all the way up to a point. Okay, and when you see major fighting in the Middle East, right, major for a whole minute, that's when you know that World War III is right about where it should be in the middle. Okay, and I would say about 3/4 of the way through, right, then this will happen. Let's see, Rev 19. That's when, out of the third dimension, okay, the one you call Jesus, whose name is Yahushua in the Hebrew, is going to come through with his army. Okay, his army. So this says, and I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies. The kings of the earth, all the nations of the earth and their armies will at this time be fighting each other. So they'll be gathered together, right? Pursuant to what? To Joel 3. Right? The Most High said, I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Right? For that last great war, Armageddon, in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay? Now, once they're there fighting against each other, then this is going to happen. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together. There they are, fighting each other. Okay? But they're going to stop fighting each other. They're going to leave the battle they have won with each other, and then they're going to turn their sights on who? The one to make war against him that sat on the horse, which is Yahushua. I saw heaven, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And his name is called the Word of God. That's Yahushua, who you call Jesus. So they're going to gather themselves together to make war against him that sat on and against his army. All right, which is foolhardy at best. So, and then that will be the complete end, right, of World War III. These were both cast alive into a lake burning with fire and brimstone. Okay, so they're not gonna win. Got it? So we'll go ahead and close it right there. This thing is getting interesting, right? Go watch Nate's update. Good stuff. With that, we hope that the elect were edified, you brothers and few sisters. Shabbat Shalom.